As an organizational change manager and transformation professional, you are faced with an environment dominated by many moving parts. For example, a digital transformation project suddenly impacted by a major acquisition that introduces a cultural merger, new stakeholder groups, updated training needs, fresh risk analysis, and cross-organizational process mapping and analysis. Now, there are tools and applications that can help manage these new wrinkles, but you don't have time to master new platforms or figure out complex software. You need results, and you need them fast. In this scenario, the difference between transformation success and failure isn't about having the right tools. It's about having access to experts who know how to use those tools to solve your specific challenges immediately. Dawning Systems Experts with Tool Services gives you that access. No learning curve. You don't waste weeks figuring out how to use sophisticated assessment and documentation platforms. Immediate results. Our experts already know how to leverage advanced tools to address management support gaps and employee resistance. Expert interpretation. Tools are only as good as the person using them. Our experts turn data into actionable insights instantly. Professional quality. You get expert-level deliverables that would take months to produce if you had to learn and master the tools yourself. Just articulate your need. Tell us what you're trying to accomplish and we handle the rest. Analysis, documentation, reports, assessments, all done pronto.
I work for one of the big 5 consulting companies and was just deployed to a new project with a client that was recovering from a failed ERP implementation and was now embarking on their second attempt. The first thing I needed to do was to get a good read on the organization's readiness for more change. But I had little time and needed to make an impression fast. Dawning Systems to the rescue. Within a few hours, I was sharing a link to a comprehensive change design assessment survey, complete with a personalized access portal for the client. My Dawning Systems expert with tools was a 30-year change management veteran, so he had done this many times before. He simply took my notes and a sample survey I had used at a previous client and created a whole new professional assessment experience just for this client, complete with not just survey questions, but one that notified me personally when anyone had taken the survey, provided instant results with baseline interpretations, and for anyone who was interested, access to the research foundations that the survey was based on. All this in 4 hours. The professionalism of the assessment put the client at ease. The speed with which I was able to respond to the client impressed them, and the richness of the guidance they received through the assessment set the tone and positioned me as the go-to resource on change management.
We don't sell you tools that you have to learn. We give you the experts who already mastered the tools to get your work done pronto. So, for example, you need to plan and execute a large user acceptance testing cycle for a complex technology implementation. We deliver the expert who can transform your complicated spreadsheet-based plans into a simple-to-manage working plan.
It had been a grueling 3-year slug to get this enterprise software package to where it needed to be. This was no ordinary ERP implementation. We had pretty much customized the entire product, and now we were just a few months before going live, and the moment of truth had arrived. User acceptance testing, also known as UAT, all the hard work, the vendor changes, the decisions to go with different software solutions, and painstaking configurations and integrations, the hair-pulling unit and end-to-end testing. All of it had led us to this point. As I looked across our 35 divisions, I realized what a gargantuan effort would be needed to track all the moving parts involved in the comprehensive UAT we had to execute. The planning Excel spreadsheet was already a monster. I was the only one who could understand all the tabs, links, and references contained in that workbook. I needed a solution. After researching all kinds of testing platforms out there, it dawned on me that my answer was not to spend money on a platform and then spend more money and time that we didn't have, training my team on how to use that platform, and then having to replan the entire UAT based on how the platform worked. I already knew exactly what we needed to do. I already had a plan. What I needed was someone with the expertise and tools to take my plan and operationalize it through some kind of integrated system that would allow me and my stakeholders to simply manage the UAT. That is, decide who does what testing, when and where they will do that testing, then get and grade the results of the testing and implement any remediations necessary to get to the passing grade. That's all I needed. Enter Dawning Systems experts with tools. We had estimated that just organizing the UAT around the plan would take us about a month of presentations, reviews, and revisions across all 35 divisions. It took just 1 week with our Dawning Systems expert and his tool set. Because he had decades of experience conducting UATs, our expert could not only read and understand my monster spreadsheet, he could improve on it. In just 1 day, we had a comprehensive UAT system that reflected my plan perfectly, and then we spent the rest of the week making that plan even better by creating the differentiated user interfaces that meant testers only saw what they needed, their testing schedule showing when and where they were booked to conduct the testing, what aspects of the system they had been assigned to test, the test scripts they would be executing, and the capture forms that would allow them to quickly and simply enter their testing results. As the testers performed their tests, the technical support team was getting near real-time updates on the progress of the testing and the results so far. They were able to import those results into their own tracking systems and get to work on any root cause analysis and remediation, and then quickly alerting me and my UAT management team when we could schedule the necessary retesting, which was as simple as me clicking a retest checkbox in the management interface of the system that my expert provided. For me and my team, managing the UAT had become simple. We could see the entire topography of the ongoing testing from one UAT dashboard. We could dig down into any particular area of the testing to see more details, receive near real-time reports on the status of the testing, and we could direct and redirect testing plans simply by clicking on the appropriate buttons and/or alerting our expert of what we'd like to do. We even had him add features to the platform overnight. It was almost like magic. Except it wasn't magic. It was precisely the results you get when you hire an expert with the tools to deliver.